Woo! Let me know if you heard that. This is Ron Jackson here, and I want to make sure that you could hear the music at the same time I was playing that. That was very difficult to actually read and play. So I was doing 1, 2, 3, 5 patterns on rhythm changes. Now, this whole lesson is going to be about the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern. Okay, so that means before we discuss that, let's do me a favor and subscribe to me if you don't already, and please share my live stream or this channel to everybody. You can follow me everywhere at Ron Jackson Music, and definitely check out the music to this. So this is actually 1, 2, 3, 5 patterns on rhythm changes that I wrote out. That's on my website at Ronnie Music Label. You can get a free lesson there as well. You can go on there and check it out, and definitely subscribe to me and share my channel. So we're going to be talking about the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern. Now, rhythm changes, first is a song that a lot of jazz musicians play. So it's based on the song right here, I Got Rhythm, written by George Gershwin. Okay, you see that? And if you have a problem hearing me or anything, let me know. So George Gershwin wrote this song. George and Ira Gershwin, they were brothers or something. They wrote this song, and it sounds like this. Let me play a little bit for you. And it's basically like the model for jazz improvisers to play over, get all the improvisations and new melodies they wrote. But this song was written in, it says right here, in 1930. And we're still playing this stuff, okay? Almost 100 years later. So it sounds like this. It goes. The main melody goes like this. So that's I Got Rhythm. So basically I Got Rhythm is just a series of chords, very basic chords in the key of B flat. Basic for for jazz musicians at least. So it's basically just it's in the key of B flat. So it's just the one chord, one major seven. It could be a 6 chord. Here's a 6 chord, and then it goes to G minor, 1, 6, 2, 5. Which is actually the building blocks of many songs in jazz and a lot of pop tunes. I can name so many. Da 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 do da 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 da. Saving All My Love for You, and just so many tunes. Darling, you, ooh, send me. All those kind of all those kind of pop tunes, but in jazz it's very common too. And then variations of that. So rhythm changes are a very important song for jazz musicians in general because we have to learn how to play over this progression. And and it goes by pretty fast. So it's like 1, which is B flat major 7 or B flat 6, then G minor 7, then C minor 7 2 5, then 5 7, which is F7. So that's 1 6 2 5, and then you could do variations on that. It's basically what we call a turnaround. You could just cycle through those changes. But the hard part about this is not only cycling through the chords, but it's also being able to play over each chord something that resembles the chord changes. And in jazz, jazz improvisers play over the chords a lot. But I want to simplify this a little bit. I actually did a Barry Harris approach to this. Now, when you're doing this really fast, variation. When you're going that fast on this song, it's a lot of chords. Basically 1, B flat major 7, G minor 7, C minor 7, 2 5, 1 6 2 5, then the 5 7's F. It's basically just 1 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 and 5. So it's basically B flat major 7 to F7, and you can simplify it like that when you're improvising as well. And these extra chords are just reharmonizations. You could just do 1 measure of each instead of 2 beats of each of these chords. But we're going to be talking about playing over each of these chords using this thing called the 1 2 3 5 pattern today. That simply said, let's say we're in the key of C and you're playing a C major chord. Okay. Just so you know, this mic thing is kind of weird sometimes. So what happens is, let's say you're playing a C chord. If you're playing up the C major scale, C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5, etc. A is 6, and then 7 is B, back to 1, which is 8. Now, a 1 2 3 5 pattern is basically 1, C, B, 2, and then 3 is E, and 5. Now, the person that made this kind of pattern really famous is John Coltrane on Giant Steps. So when he played Giant Steps, there's a lot of chords in Giant Steps. It's like B, and then D7, and then G major 7, then B flat 7, then E flat major 7. They go by fast. He does it fast, but what he does, he just does 1 2 3 5 patterns. That's what he did back when he created that song. I think it was in the mid 60s or early 60s. I gotta look it up actually. Let me see what my book says. But when John Coltrane started Giant Steps, that's how you started doing 1 2 3 5 patterns. And this is like a shortcut to me over playing a lot of chords because it sounds good actually. To me it sounds better than doing an arpeggio through chords, okay? Giant Steps John Coltrane wrote this in it says 1974 here, probably got renewed. But it was the early 60s, I think. It was a time when no one played like that. And, even the piano player, Tommy Flanagan, had a hard time playing over that song because no one played those kind of chord changes before. But basically, he just did 1 2 3 5 patterns. Watch this. So those are 1 2 3 5 patterns. 1 on the B. These are just 1 2 3 5 patterns. When you get to the minor, if you do a minor chord, all you do is lower the third. So if I'm doing this pattern to make it minor, just lower the third. There's another way of doing that too. You could do 1, skip the 2 and play flat 3. We're not gonna do that yet. And a great book to learn how to do this kind of stuff, everybody, is also if you have any questions, let me know. Is this book I got from Mike Stern when I was taking lessons with him. Look at this. It's called Melodic Structures by Jerry Borgonzi. during the lockdown when I got this book, it was hard to find and it's pretty expensive. But it's a great book. It talks about how you do these 1, 2, 3, 5 patterns. Like here, okay. So you can do them different ways. You can play them through whole songs and stuff like that. So we're going to be doing this over rhythm changes, basically. So what I did with this, with rhythm changes. Now rhythm changes, what happened was, I got rhythm was like this. I got rhythm, and it's 1, 6, 2, 5. So the chord progression is basically this. Variations of this. There's so many variations of that same chord progression that we use in jazz, but that's basically rhythm changes. But the problem is, imagine trying to play over each one of those chords. So I wrote this lesson called 1, 2, 3, 5 patterns on rhythm changes, and you can get this on my website. I'm going to be playing through this for you now. So I start off. I'm going to play this one for you one more time live so you can hear how these 1, 2, 3, 5 patterns sound now. So this is how, basically if I'm doing a B flat major 7, I'm using this pattern first. G minor. So that's a minor arpeggio, a minor 2/5, a minor 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern. So it's actually 1, 2, flat 3, 5 instead of going. That's major, minor. And your goal, really, everybody, is to learn how to play these. Like, let's say you take the B flat one like this. I teach my guitar students to be able to play these things all over the neck. Watch this. See what I'm doing? I'm playing all these patterns in the same register, but I'm playing them every possible way. Watch. See that? Now, everybody, if you have any questions, I know you're watching, please, send me a question in the comments. And if you're enjoying this, please subscribe. Subscribing helps me create this great content for you guys online, okay, and everywhere else. And it really helps support my channel. So please subscribe and share my live streams. Share all my content everywhere at Ron Jackson Music. And if you're enjoying this, you could go check out my store and check out my music and stuff like that. And also, you could super chat me and this different, I don't know what it's just like what's called on Facebook, but there's a different name like that, gifting or something. If you want to help support me that way too, that would be great. And please ask me some questions, okay, if you have any. So I did the 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern like this, every possible way. That's harder to do. See, some fingerings are much harder than the other ones, but I'm only doing it in 1 octave. You could do it here. This is how I practice all my phrases. Actually, you have to be able to practice them everywhere, because a lot of guitar players, when they learn how to play jazz, they have one lick or riff, and they only know how to play it in one place. You don't want to get you can't play jazz like that. You got to know how to play any lick that you know. So many different ways all over the neck. Okay. Today I'm going to show you just a specific thing, but that's the goal, is to be able to know your guitar neck everywhere. like this. See, everywhere. So I'm playing that same phrase everywhere. So now, what I do is the first 4 bars I do this. These 1, 2, 3, 5 patterns: B flat major 7, G minor 7, C minor 7, F7. So what I do though is this, just so you guys know, most of these, if you play these, there's no 7th on these. Okay, there's no 7th tone. Like if it's a B flat major 7, there's no A, for example. It's just 1, 2, 3, 5. So you skip the 7, and you don't really need to play all the other stuff anyway to make it sound good. To me, this sounds better than going. This is just major 7s. I mean 7th chord. B flat major 7, G minor 7. See that? It sounds much more boring to me just to play just a straight arpeggio. See that? To me, it sounds better to go. See how many ways I played that? I try to play it so many different ways. Okay, let me do a tuning. See? I'm just tuning right now. And then, so the next part of this, so that's the first 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I go to D minor, G7, C minor 7, F7. So when you do that, I'm just gonna go like this. So what I do is I learn these licks really well, and I'll do them really fast. I go different ways. You see? Or see what I did? That's how you have to practice all your jazz phrases like that. See what I did? So, and these are not hard to play. I think it's harder to play arpeggios, actually. In my mind, I don't think they sound as good. Don't get me wrong. I play arpeggios all the time, but I don't do them. I don't do them all the time. That's all. You know what I mean? Okay. So now let me play through the next part. So let me play the first 8 bars for you. Here's what it sounds like. Watch this. So that's what that sounds like, okay? Now, let me play it with the music for you. Here we go. So I'm going to start that again. I'm going to put the mic close so you can actually hear it better. Here we go. Here we go. 1. So that's actually the first 8 bars of these 1, 2, 3, 5 patterns on rhythm changes. Remember, I got rhythm. This is just a series of 1, 6, 2, 5s. Okay. Now, what I do is you just can't play these from. You can't just play these patterns just from 1, 2, 3, 5. You could actually mix these up. And in this book that I showed you earlier, this Jerry Bergonzi book called Melodic Structures, he actually had, you could actually play these permutations of a 1, 2, 3, 5, 24 different ways, okay? Look at this. 24 different ways of playing those 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5 patterns, okay? So, I mean, you know, it's hard just to play the basic 1, 2, 3, 5, but you can mix them up. So what I do is, what I did the second time, I went backwards. I went like this. I went 5, 3, 2, 1, like that. In the first phrase, I went like this. On the B flat major 7. Now the G minor just going up. Now C minor. Backwards. Okay. 5, flat 3, 2, 1, and then on the F7, 1, 2, 3, 5. So it sounds like this. That sounds cool, no? On this chord progression. Hear that one more time. I'm trying to put the chords on top of that so you can kind of hear the chord progression. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern backward. Then going up. Then what I did next is I did the D minor 7. These are all series of 2 5s. So this is 3, 5, 7 of the 2, which is D minor 7, G7 in the key of B flat. Then 2, 5, C minor 7 to F7. So I did the same thing on the D minor 7 like this. Okay. Just like that, okay? Now, let's get to the next chord, set of chords. So this goes, in rhythm changes, they always go to the 4 chord like this. So you're going to do a 2, 5 of the 4, which is E flat. F minor 7 to B flat. Then E flat major 7, which is the 4. Then sharp 4 diminished 7. Then you're doing B flat. A B flat chord with a 5th in the bass, which is F. Then a G7. Then and I did a 2, 5 resolution, 1 beat each. Okay? So the next part of this would be that's what that sounds like. Okay, so we're going to the second part of the song before we get to the bridge. Now the bridge of rhythm changes starts on a D7 chord. It's a cycle. You go to the third of the song and make it a dominant 7. It's a very common formula in jazz. In the key of B flat, you go to D7, and you do that for 2 bars, and then you're gonna go G7. So it's really the D7. It's a 5/7 of the 6, which is G in the key of B flat, G7, and then you're doing the G7, which is not diatonic in the key of B flat. It's gonna be 5/7 of the 2. Then the 2 is going to be, the next chord is going to be a C, which is a 2, but it's going to be a C7, which is a 5/7 of the 5, which in the key of B flat is F. So it's like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what the bridge of rhythm changes is. Okay. So what I did was I did a series of 1, 2, 3, 5 patterns on the D7. So I did a D7. Then I made a 2, 5 instead of a D7 for another bar. I made an A minor to a D7 like this. So it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And remember, you can always put this related to a dominant 7th chord. Okay. So now here's what the bridge sounds like with those 1, 2, 3, 5 patterns with that chord progression. It sounds like this. What I did there was I just did, okay, I just changed it up a little bit and did kind of an arpeggio on the G. Then I see? So that's the whole bridge of these rhythm changes, 1, 2, 3, 5 patterns, okay? And so I'm just doing basically some variations. Now what happens is I change the chord progression. This is a very common change of the last 8 bars of a rhythm changes song. I went from a B flat major 7 for 2 Bs to a B diminished, which is is a substitution for a G7, which is like a G7 flat 9. Then C minor 7, C sharp diminished 7, which is a substitution for an A7, and then goes to D minor. So those are substitutions for dominant 7th and passing chords. Then I did the C's of 2 5s, D minor 7, G7, C minor 7, F7. Okay. And then I did 2 5, back to the 4, and then I did flat 7 7, and then I went 1 diminished, sharp 1 diminished, 2 5 1. So here's what that sounds like at the end. There's a lot of stuff to show you in like a short lesson like mine today, but this is really cool for you guys to learn. You got definitely pick up the music on my website. It's called 1 2 3 5 patterns on rhythm changes. Okay, so it sounds like this. Now if I play with the if I just play through the 1 2 3 5 patterns right now, here's what it sounds like, that progression. Now here's what I did this time. I did a little slightly different pattern. Instead of going, I skipped and I played the 3rd to the 5 to the 2, then 3 5 2 1. I did that pattern. I keep going. Then I did a line. Do those changes. Now, for people who are watching, definitely send me some questions about this kind of chord progression and these rhythms, and these patterns that I'm showing you. So let me play for you what this sounds like, the whole rhythm changes, 1 2 3 5 pattern on rhythm changes that I created. There's a lesson on my website at ronniemusiclabel.com. Check this out. Here we go, one more time. That's not easy to play, everybody. Whew. I lost for 1 second. So I'm basically reading all these notes. Look at all these crazy notes here real quick. A lot of notes. And so when I'm reading through these notes, and I don't have this memorized. I sight read pretty good. So it's still a lot of notes to read, even though, and to me it's not that difficult because it's basically the same rhythm. The hardest part about playing sight reading music is the rhythm, more than the notes to me. So, for example, we're talking about rhythm changes and playing 1 2 3 5 patterns, everybody. So take a look. So Charlie Parker and all these guys, Sonny Rollins, they wrote so many songs over the tune I Got Rhythm. So look at this one. Here's Anthropology. Look how many notes there are on this. And so that's a great tune to learn. It's one of the tunes I learned. So that's what that sounds like. It's a great, great tune. And then, there's so many tunes that are written over rhythm changes. I also, this was Sonny Rollins, Oleo. You should learn all these tunes if you want to learn rhythm changes. They're very, very important tunes. So let me show you what Oleo looks like. Oleo is a great tune that everybody plays in jazz too. Take a look at this, Oleo. Okay, and that's written over I Got Rhythm, or rhythm changes we call it in jazz. You should definitely learn that one. And the hard part about these songs is not the notes; it's always the rhythm. So this goes. So that's there's that same melody at the end, but then there's a bridge now. And there's so many songs like that. That I've had to learn over rhythm changes. And so this today was all about the 1-2-3-5 pattern. Again, if you don't follow me, or if you have any questions, I know it's a Friday night, and I'm actually home, doing work like this and doing live streams because I'm trying to develop more of a catalog for my live streams. So just so you guys know, please, if you don't follow me, please do so now, and please subscribe to my channel. You can follow me everywhere at Ron Jackson Music, okay? And you can get this lesson on my website. Also, there's some freebie lessons on RonnieMusicLabel.com. I'll show you. Let me show my banner. We can get a freebie lesson right here, okay? And then if you enjoyed this live stream, definitely. You can check out my different, methods here for donations, etc. If you'd like to. Let me show you that real quick. And definitely follow me because it helps me create cool content for you guys. And if definitely if you can come by and check out my shows that I have in the near future. I'm playing a lot in New York City in the next few months. I'll be playing at the Django. I'll be playing a bunch of different places, Joe's Pub, all these cool places. And also, check out my books and CDs and vinyls. Take a look. Like I write for Acoustic Guitar Magazine, so I have books out. You can go get that on my website. I can sign it for you directly. I have vinyls, T-shirts, like this T-shirt right here. My 6-string Jazz Guitar Heroes T-shirt. You can check that out and get yours on my website at RonnieMusicLabel.com, or RonnieMusic. You can also get it if you use Ron Jackson Music. You could follow it too. We're actually forwarding all that to my website. So definitely share this stream. If you can come back and watch this over and over here on YouTube or on Facebook. Okay. At my Facebook page at Ron Jackson Music. So definitely check this out. I really appreciate you guys watching today. And it was fun playing for you and teaching you about the 1-2-3-5 pattern. You can check out the books that people wrote about this, like the Jerry Bergonzi book right here. It's called Melodic Structures, Volume 1. This is a heavy book. So, I'm still working on this stuff. I have so much stuff to work on all the time. It's never ending. And I'm trying to help, my fans and, my people that subscribe to me learn about this stuff too online. And if you want to take a lesson, let me know. I'm getting new students all the time that really want to, that find me to study with because they follow me and they eventually will say, look, I want to start taking lessons with you. So they contact me from all over the world. Okay. So thank you, everybody. And thanks for watching. It's Ron Jackson, and I'll see you guys someplace on cyberspace or in MySpace on a gig, okay? Have a great day. Bye-bye. Thank you.